This woman on the screen is New York-based actress Jacqueline Guzman. And why do we have her on the Summer Jam screen? Well, she just got canceled by her job at her acting company. I think she's part of an acting troupe that does like plays and whatnot. But the reason she got canceled is not as important to me as the disingenuousness of people like her. Okay, this woman, 5'1", 5'2", 5'3"-ish, very little muscle tone, lower bone density, less speed, strength than a lot of the males, and maybe a lot of the women. Then you're in a community, New York City, very, very violent. People are constantly being pushed on tracks. Knockout game is very common. I haven't been covering it as much lately, but they still happen, and I just can't get to all of them. Or maybe I'll do a mashup of all the knockout games that happened recently. People just walk by, knock you over. Just very violent people there. Yes, some of them have mental illness, but the majority of them don't. They're just bad people. And a lot of this going on. And this woman, people like her, refuse to understand why they can walk the streets of New York, why she can go for a night jog, or used to be able to go for a night jog before the summer of Floyd, why she can walk to an ATM machine and make her transact, why she can just walk the streets, period, walk down dark alleys, narrow hallways, desolate streets, why she can go to and fro. I promise you it's because of the cops. If there were no cops, the weak and the meek would be preyed upon 1,000 more times than they are now. We saw just with defund the police, with the cops having their budgets cut and their staffing cut down, what's happened. Imagine if there were no cops. So over the last couple of weeks ago, we saw this. I covered this where the some elderly sister, her thug, ex-con, criminal son was threatening her and assaulting her. She didn't call the NFAC. She didn't call BLM. She didn't call Ghostbusters. She called the cops. And 2 cops showed up. Mora and Ramirez. And as they showed up to assist the woman walking down a narrow hallway in her home, she neglected to tell them that her son had a gun, multiple guns in the room. He comes out of the room and just starts shooting. And of course, the officers don't have their weapons drawn, and it wouldn't have mattered either, because the way he ambushed them, they didn't see him. He just popped out, boom, 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 and stood over them and finished them off. And then the third cop was a rookie on his first day. He was being trained. Talk about training day. He killed the suspect. Now, those cops have been hailed as heroes because it was a domestic call. And they were, of course, POC cops too. But it was a domestic call. This is what women rely on. I mean, it's the foundations. You know how many lives are saved every year by cops just coming for domestic calls? And just the specter of a cop getting involved keeps a lot of women alive. And this was a sister, an elderly sister, and her thug son. And you know that sister was totally against police the whole last 2 years. And she still got the two police officers gave their lives to protect her from her own thug son. And women like this woman right here on the screen, Jacqueline Guzman, they seem to think that it's just their own force of character, their own abilities and their own strength, I am woman, that makes it safe for them to navigate through these dangerous, crime-filled inner cities.
We do not need to shut down most of lower Manhattan because one cop died for probably doing his job incorrectly. They kill people who are under 22 every single day for no good reason, and we don't shut down the city for them. So, like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. What if somebody is having a heart attack in this area? Nobody can get to them because it's all blocked off for one fucking cop.
Okay. So she's upset that the funeral procession for the cop, you know, it was thousands and thousands of cops down there to pay their respects to this fallen guy. If you ever get a chance, go watch his funeral and listen to his brother's eulogy of him. Just fascinating. Tearjerker, man. I don't know how, if you ain't, I was brought to tears. Not like sobbing, but the tears was, I was having to catch them. I had to catch them tears, man. That was rough, man. But this woman, she thought she was going to get some wokely woke points for this. But New Yorkers are tired of the crime. She didn't check the temperature of the city. The city's turning. As I tell you, go to any of these New York news channels and just read the comments under the videos. The city's tired of this crime. They're tired of Sunmen just doing whatever they want. I mean, and when I say whatever they want, I'm not talking about just like, you know, doing what they want. I mean, killing whoever they want. Punching whoever they want and harming whoever they want. She didn't check the temperature. She thought she was going to get a big liberal high five, a big liberal party bash thrown for her. And people completely rejected her. It completely appalled and repulsed by the things she said in this video. And I'm repulsed because a woman like her, a woman, even me as a man, I'm 6'3", 300, let's just say 290. And that means nothing when you're in the community. That means nothing. Let me tell you something, man. That means nothing. Was she 5'1", 230 pounds, 240 pounds? That means more than nothing. I just be so confused at these people who they forget that it's police, law and order, criminal justice, all these things that keep them safe. Street lights, cell phones, cameras, security cameras. All these things keep them safe on a daily basis. And she thought she was going to get some woke points because she didn't know this. She hadn't checked the temperature of her city. A year ago, 2 years ago, she would have gained 10,000 followers in one day. She'd have been called stunning and brave. She would have got 10,000 amen comments in her under her video. But as of today, after she's said this a few days ago, she's deleted all her social media accounts and she's been fired.
We do not need to shut down most of lower Manhattan because one cop died for probably doing his job incorrectly. They kill people who are under 22 every single day for no good reason, and we don't shut down the city for them. So
this notion that they're just killing people under 22 every day for no good reason. First of all, most of the people they killed at 22 are gliders, glacier gliders. Second of all, the communities in which they kill sunmen that are, let's say, under 22 are communities that, I mean, these are dangerous places, man. I don't think she knows that there's neighborhoods. Now, just for instance, in D.C., there's about 100 neighborhoods, right? So that lets you know, a city like New York, Chicago, there's even more neighborhoods. So these, not boroughs, neighborhoods in this country. Sun neighborhoods where all the victims are Sun people and all the perpetrators are Sun people. Where you can have 70 or 80 murders in 1 year. Neighborhoods. Okay? 40, 50, 30 murders in 1 year. Neighborhoods. Walnut Park, St. Louis. Lawndale. Garfield Park. Austin. Inglewood in Chicago. Fraser neighborhood in Memphis. And it goes on and on and on and on. Congress Park, D.C. Columbia Heights, D.C. And I can go all across the country and name these places. Murder, 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 just neighborhoods. And police got to police those areas. They're having shootouts with these guys on the regular. They're chasing carjackers to and fro. They're chasing robbers to and fro. They're chasing murder suspects all up and down the streets. And something happens in one of the 17,985 police departments we have in this country. Every once in a while, a bad shoot happens in one of those 17,985 departments that are all experiencing the same thing, because as we know in 2022, they're everywhere. The Sun Man is everywhere. He's everywhere. So whereas before 2020, you might have had this thing happening, this massive amount of crime happening, maybe 30% of those precincts, those police agencies, departments. Now, it's happening in almost 90% of them. And if one bad shoot here by one cop in one place, anywhere, it could be somewhere you never heard of. Ferguson, Sanford, Florida, Kenosha, Wisconsin. It'll be a place you've never heard of. and they're all besmirched and they're all bad. But no one ever thinks like, dang, they do a great job not killing Sunmen, man. It's that many police departments working the streets every single day in this vast land from Pacific Ocean to the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, from the border of Canada to the southern border. East of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic region, the South, all 50 states. All 10,000 counties. All the little cities. And the best you got is every once in a while you can find a dude who might have stole a cop's taser, beat up a cop, took his taser, shot him with it, and got shot back. Or a guy who, was beating the crap out of a bunch of cops and then ran to his car and reached under his seat. That's the best you can do with all of these departments working 24/7, 365. That's what makes this woman's comment so egregious.
We do not need to shut down most of lower Manhattan because one cop died for probably doing his job incorrectly. They kill people who are under 22 every single day for no good reason, and we don't shut down the city for them. So, this is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. What if somebody is having a heart attack in this area? Nobody can get to them because it's all blocked off for one fucking cop.